Hi there, Scott ROCKFILE back with another podcast for you. Going to talk about the 2018 film White Chamber. Sorry for the lack of podcasts in the last week or two. Had some congestion. I still have a little bit left, but I think I'm mostly past it. This is one of those movies I got from HamiltonBook.com for about $1.95, I think is what I paid for it. That's cheaper than renting it from Redbox locally or buying it on a stream or renting it on a stream. So every once in a while I'll pick one of these up. Is it a keeper? It's not bad. Short version is, if you want to see an interesting battle of wills, don't listen to online reviews that compared this to Cube or whatever. It's nothing like Cube. It's basically two good actors feeding off each other and doing a great job at it. Not the best film I've ever seen, but not a bad one either. So getting into it, White Chamber was released back in 2018. I don't know that it got much of a theatrical release in this country. It appears to be a UK film. It's about 90 minutes. It's from Dark Sky Films. It's not rated. It's definitely United Kingdom film. It stars Shauna MacDonald and Oded Fehr, which you've seen lately on Star Trek, Discovery, and other shows. I think he's great, by the way. Thought he was very good in this. So was she. She was in The Descent, among other things. She's won several awards. Takes place in the near future. To give you a little background on it, political stuff is going on. A civil war kind of is going on in the United Kingdom. A general from the opposition has this person in this high-tech torture chamber and inflicts some tortures to find out, does she or does she not have information that he needs. On the front, there's some quotes like a gloriously political, wonderfully visceral, and perfectly performed film, 4.5 stars. A chilling vision, refuses to play by the rules. It was official selections at quite a few different 2018 international film festivals, including Fright Fest in London and others. And I really heard not much about it. There weren't too many reviews on it, but I saw enough decent reviews that, well, picking it up for under $2, why not? It's actually not bad. The surround sound's good. The filming is good. The cinematography is good. The acting is good. Where it faults, probably maybe in construction. They kind of turn the tables on you about a third of the way through the film, and then they try and turn them again. I think some of the plot twists, some of the shocks could have been handled a little better. There is, by the way, not getting into spoilers, but there's quite a few gory scenes in this. Is why it showed up at some Fright Fests. There are some scenes of killings that are pretty graphic, actually, considering it's an unrated film that I thought was a straight-to-video thing, but maybe not. It does look very movie-esque. It has high production values, nice sets, good actors all around, that kind of thing. There are quite a few surprises in it, and when it does turn things around on you, it's very well done. I just think it could have been handled a little bit better. This would have been a hit had it been handled a little bit better. But for people who are looking for things to watch these days on streaming or whatever, this is the kind of thing I look for because it's a near miss. It is one of those things where the acting's really good. The filmmaking is very good. The story is very interesting and keeps you invested the whole time. When it's over, it's not like, wow, I got to tell everybody this is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen, but it's also not one I'm going to sell off on eBay for $1. You know, I'll keep this for another time I want to watch because the performances are really good. And I'm not the biggest fan of torture kind of movies, but when it gets more psychological this way and it's not so much physical, there is some physical torture stuff, but it's like they make the cube too hot, they make it too cold, you know, that kind of stuff. Or they drip acid from it, or they drip hot water from it, or whatever. You know, it does have some of those torture mechanics or something like a Cube movie, but again, it's nothing like that. Cube is a movie about a group of people trying to get from one weird little torture chamber room to another. It's got a remake coming that actually looks pretty interesting. I think it's Japanese or Chinese or something. But White Chamber is not that. It is the story of two people battle of wills kind of thing, and in that respect, it does well. But when we do kind of a flashback thing to the 5 days before the movie starts, and they kind of spend more time on that than they spend on what's going on currently until they get back to it. We did not need to know every single second of what happened the 5 days before. There's some good plot twist stuff in there and good stuff that leads into the performance that you saw in the first part of the movie. But you spend too much time there, and by the time you get back to current time, it's like, okay, well, you know, you could have saved some of that. You could have handled that a little bit differently. Again, this sounds like some big negatives. It's just, it's one of those movies where you're not going to hate it. You're going to get done with it and go, well, that was pretty good. The acting is really good. And that's one of the main reasons I watch movies. I watch for acting. I watch for story. The cinematography, special effects, music, all that stuff comes later, but I really need to be invested in the story and the characters. And I was in this one for the most part. I really like what Oded did in the film. I think he's fabulous in the movie. Shauna McDonald, also really great in the movie. When the plot twists come, like I said, they're worthy. They're like, oh, well, okay, that does take things up a notch. They should have kept going. And the way it ends kind of leaves it, there's some good plot twists. I can't really talk much about the last third of the movie without giving too much away, so I'll stop here. White Chamber is something I would seek out if you're looking for something new to stream. Whether you should pick up the Blu-ray or such, it depends on if the description of the movie sounded like something good to you. The political overtones, it's good, and it does have some things to say about current times, but it's also general. It's a very generally political type of movie. The rebels versus the establishment and that kind of thing. It wasn't bad. White Chamber, check it out. And like I said, don't pay attention to those online reviews that compare it to Cube. It is nothing like that, even though there are some gory deaths in the film. White Chamber came out in 2018. Definitely worth watching if you're a fan of either one of the actors in the main actors in the film. Anyway, I'm Scott Hamilton. I'm ROCKFILE. My links are below. Thanks very much for listening to another review. I promise I'll get back to it now that I'm not quite as congested as I've been, and spring is springing here in Alaska. Have a spectacular day. Thank you very much for listening.